get into this one right here. Well, it's going around. It's making its rounds of LeBron James and other young players at the time, NBA players like Chris Paul and et cetera, at Michael Jordan camps, right? And I kind of seen some of this a long time ago, but I never seen the what do you call it? The footage where they had Michael Jordan actually talking with his voice. The audio, basically. They didn't have the audio. They got one where Michael Jordan and LeBron James comes up to Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan gives him some praise. I think they handshake or whatever like that. And then he says, don't stop, something like that. He's pretty much at the basketball camp of Michael Jordan. Now, I seen on Sports and Fitness Rants, he did a video on it about LeBron James asking him a question about what gave him that burning desire to be great. And y'all can go check that video out. I'm not going to try to go the angle that Sports and Fitness Rants went, even though he was dead on about it. What I'm going to say about it is, listen, let's remember, LeBron James idolized Kobe Bryant growing up. We had that on all kind of videos where he says Kobe Bryant was his idol growing up. It was Kobe Bryant, not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, for most of these young people, are just, yes, they can go back and watch videotape of him and stuff like that, but they'll never live it in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids grow up on Curry. Some of them grew up on, they grew up on Kobe. Some of them grew up on LeBron James. Whoever the idol was at that time growing up, that's just what it was. But we all know, everybody knows Michael Jordan is a standard. He's just always going to be the standard. And, for maybe for most quarterbacks, the standard is always going to be Tom Brady. You just can't beat that standard, man. Can't beat it. So, what I'm trying to say here is, like I said, I'm going to go a different way in what Sports and Fitness Rants was saying about how, Michael Jordan answered that question, basically giving LeBron James the blueprint on how to become great. And he didn't do it. He didn't follow the blueprint. And listen, LeBron James had a chance, I don't think to be the greatest player of all time, but he had a chance to crack that top 5. For me, that top 5 is hard to crack, man. My top 5 in reality. You know what I'm saying? The Michael Jordan, the Wilt Chamberlain, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, and Magic Johnson. These are two-way players, guys, or the best all-around players. Jordan is a two-way player, the greatest player of all time, career-wise. And to me, Wilt Chamberlain is just the greatest player of all time, period, in a two-way player. And, he proved he can be an all-around player with assist. So, you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I don't know, maybe, I would say the top 3 greatest all-around player. We take his offense and his defense, that's just it, man. And then you got, who's it, Kobe Bryant. We would consider him top 5 two-way player. And then Magic Johnson. What else do you want? I would say up there too, top 5, well, maybe top 3 greatest all-around player. So, as you can see, LeBron James had a chance to crack that top 5. I mean, it's tough. You had to come with the championships. You had to come with the statistical titles. And you had to come with just accolades in general, right? You have to be a two-way player or an all-around player. So, he had a chance to do that. Now, I don't think he had a chance, or he was going to be the two-way player Michael Jordan was, Kobe Bryant was, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was, Wilt Chamberlain was, he just wasn't, man. He just wasn't. But he did have the chance to be an all-around player. But he wasn't going to beat Magic Johnson now. He just wasn't going to do it. So it was tough for him, man. In my opinion. Of course, he could have been a top 10 player. No doubt about that. Okay? So, you see what you see right here. And this is the first 7 years. And why I did the first 7 years is just because after year 7, he quit. He quit on his team. He quit and then he went to Miami. Now, granted, okay, he could have went to Miami and that's still quit. Let's just say in this instance, he would have did it a little bit different and he would have went and played with Dwayne Wade. Okay, I mean, let's see what happens. Maybe him and Dwayne Wade, win a whole bunch of championships. And, they beat Tim Duncan and they beat all these guys in front of him. Just him and Dwayne Wade, not him, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And, he puts up incredible stats, whatever. Cool. Maybe we'll see it a little bit different. But he got to win a whole bunch. He can't go over there and lose with Dwayne Wade and get embarrassed and choke down and can't choke down in the playoffs. That's the problem. You can't cheat, build a super team, and then lose and still be considered in a running. Can't do that. So as you can see with these numbers that LeBron James put up his first 7 seasons in the regular season, they're incredible numbers. They're incredible numbers. I mean, we can't deny that. The man put up incredible numbers. Now, when we look at the playoffs right here, I only put 5 seasons because when we compare the two, he only made the playoffs 5 seasons. Before, this is when Michael Jordan won his first championship. The first 7 seasons. And then, of course, Mike didn't win a championship in his first 5 seasons. So you got the first 7 regular seasons and the first 5 playoff seasons for LeBron James. I don't know, man. LeBron James and Michael Jordan. But LeBron James took off after year 7. I mean, this guy is incredible. He took off, guys. And a lot of times they try to compare this to, to what Charles Barkley did and going to the Houston. This was way down the line. What are these people talking about? Way down the line. Barkley came in like 84, guys. What is this guy talking about? I think Barkley, when did he go? In like 97 or something like that? He went like in 97. What are we talking about? Charles Barkley went to the Phoenix Suns. He didn't go to no damn super team. What are we talking about? So yeah. And again, he didn't go play with the, top, I would say, one of the top 3 players in the league. I mean, he didn't go play with one of the top 3 players in the league. Charles Barkley did it. And LeBron James was the second best player in the league. That's what y'all forget. He wasn't some dude that was good and went to go build super teams. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't Russell Westbrook that joined the super team. He wasn't that guy. He wasn't Kyrie Irving that jumped on the Nets with Kevin Durant and James Harden. He wasn't James Harden that was trying to build super teams. We're talking about LeBron James is supposed to be the greatest player of all time, or the second best in these fools' eyes. And at the time, LeBron James was 1 or 2 between him and Kobe in the game. So Charles Barkley was never 1 or 2 in the game. He was up there, but he was never 1 or 2 in that era. He just wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say he was for 1 year when he won the MVP, I guess. But and then he still didn't go build a super team, so it don't even matter. He didn't go play with the second best player in the league, or not the second best. I'm talking about in the East. My fault. Dwayne Wade probably was a top 3 player in the NBA at that time. Kobe, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade. So what I'm trying to say here is LeBron James, he decided to make a mockery out of the game. And that's why I told Sports and Fitness Rants. I said, since he couldn't do it the right way, like Bird, Magic, Kareem, Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, all these other guys, the Duncans, guess what? He went to Miami and made a mockery out of the game. How do we know? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Made a mockery out of the game. He made a complete, and guys, let's don't forget. Everybody tries to, one minute they're saying LeBron James is one of the dumbest guys to listen to and got a low IQ, and the next minute they're trying to give him all the praise for everything he did. No, he's never did everything he did just because he was able to do it. No. Well, in a sense, but it was the NBA that backed him up. So you have to give half of that blame, or really more, to the NBA. To the NBA, because the NBA basically promoted this. ESPN, the NBA, remember, Every time I talk about ESPN, these debate groups and stuff like that, just remember they all come together and they approve what's going to happen in the NBA, right? So whatever the NBA's image is, the Players Association and the owners have to approve that to Dumbo, Adam Silver, the commissioner. They have to prove that. Okay, so let's don't put it all on LeBron James. Many people want you to think that LeBron James is he just does this all by himself. Because what happens is when you start knowing that the Players Association and the owners are in on this, then what? It's no fun anymore. It's no fun. That means the owners and the Players Association destroy the league. It's no fun. Yep. But what they want you to think, in of course, what they want you to push with the script is just LeBron James running rogue, doing whatever he wants to do in the NBA, especially since he went to Miami. Running rogue. Oh, God. LeBron James, the only guy that can run rogue and do whatever he wants in the NBA throughout the whole entire NBA's history. Just LeBron James. A 4-6 loser, meltdown artist. Just LeBron James, guys. No, this is a script that they wrote for LeBron James. Remember, the NBA's been in trouble for a long time. Ever since LeBron James went to the finals and not only lost, that's one thing, but it was the lowest ratings of all time. What? Remember all the stuff that they tell you now about him coming into the NBA. He was this, he was that, he was had all this pressure on his back. He was the king. He was all this dumb stuff they tell you. Dragged a bunch of bums to the finals. Let's just realize what these guys are talking about. We ain't talking about the BootTube channels that are, continuing to make a mockery out of the NBA. It's the Shannon Sharps, the Nick Rice, and all these other fools. It's comedy, guys. Comedy. They're joking with you. They don't believe anything they say. Yes, at first we didn't want to grow up and admit that these guys are comedians. They don't mean zero that they say. It was to get a reaction out of you, to get a feeling out of you, so they can get paid, so they'll have a job, right? They'll play the bad guy, and the people out there on BootTube, they'll react, and now they have a job. Now you have to keep, checking on them to see what they're lying about, see what they're saying. That's how they keep a job, because they have nothing else to push except for lies. You can't push no truth on LeBron James because it don't exist. The truth don't exist with this guy. So bring out the lies and they have a job, okay? That's on. Look, I was tricked by this. I thought it was real at first, but it's not real. It's all fake, guys. It's all been fake with the debate shows and stuff like that. They even know it's fake. Going against each other, well, the ones that were in LeBron James' favor. That's all it was. So anyways, nobody wanted to see him play in 2007, it was the lowest rating finals of all time. What does that mean? We keep talking about this, and it basically is the GOAT. I don't even know why it's a GOAT debate anyways, but it is the fake GOAT debate all time. Nobody wanted to see this guy play in the NBA finals. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means nobody cared about the guy at the time. They keep trying to rewind time back to when he came into the NBA and how young he was, and he went to the finals eventually after missing the playoffs for the first 2 seasons, getting beat by plumbers in the FIBA, the Olympics. Hell, this guy got beat by a 6-man Manu Ginobili. Goodness God. Remember, there's an evolution, not the evolution that they're trying to get to, or they try to tell us, where guys evolved even better. But yeah, we can admit there's always been an evolution in the NBA. How better players got. No doubt about that. But let's just use that. By the time these guys came in, the LeBron James era, they should have been better than Michael Jordan in 84. The Michael Jordan guys that came into the NBA in 84. I don't care about high school. Kobe came out of high school. Kevin Garnett came out of high school. A lot of guys came out of high school and came to the NBA. One minute they'll use coming out of high school, this and that, for his greatness, and then they'll talk about, oh yeah, he came out of high school and they played in the Olympics. But we never lost professionals in the Olympics before LeBron James. Is that just a coincidence? Now they'll say he didn't play. That's why. So if LeBron James would have played, he would have saved the Olympics in 2004. No, he was so bad they won't let him play. How about that? They won't let him play. So what I'm trying to say is, when we take the, guys are supposed to get better, so-called evolution, LeBron James should have been on that floor playing against a six-man Manu Ginobili. Let's remember at that time, Manu Ginobili, this guy was a six-man. He was a bench warmer. I ain't trying to hate on him, but at that time, that's what Manu was. That's what he was at the time. He was a six-man, whatever like that. LeBron James, he played the entire season, played the entire 2003 season, guys. Let's don't play dumb. He was the rookie of the year. If he was that great, he should have been starting. Now, okay, I'm not trying to put nothing on him, but even when we go to 2006, he lost in the FIBA. And they got third place again. None of those guys was on the team. That Tim Duncan and Allen Iverson, all those guys were removed. So you can't blame it on him. It was the LeBron James era guys, period, that lost in the FIBA. And I saw him on David Letterman, and David Letterman kind of asked him about that, and he kind of like shook it off like it was nothing. Basically, oh, we got to get better. Guy, stop. And the next year, he goes to, what we're talking about really in general, he goes to the 2007 NBA Finals, and he melts down. He wasn't supposed to win, but he melts down. But again, what I'm trying to say in the whole picture, nobody wanted to see this guy play. He had the lowest ratings of all time. Okay? And when it was all said and done, all the fans already knew what time it was. Knew he was a horrible player. He wasn't that man. They already knew. That's why they didn't watch him. And how did they know is because when we talk about these events leading up to it, like I said, these events leading up to it, when we're talking about, him missing the playoffs the first two seasons, him losing in the international games to Plumbers 2 times, they already knew he wasn't that dude. They already knew he wasn't that dude. He wasn't making all NBA first teams every year. He didn't make no defensive teams. He wasn't a dude that people were just like, oh, we never seen this before. Nobody was like that. His shooting skills, his dribbling skills, it wasn't like everybody was like, wow, like that. Like we never, like, oh, damn, we never seen a Magic Johnson. Oh, man, we never seen a Shaq before. Oh, we never seen a guy like, Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was going crazy like that over this guy. We wasn't in awe like they're trying to tell you now. We just wasn't. Compared to the guys we've seen in the past. I mean, it's a joke. But this is the impression that they're trying to give you about LeBron James. When he first came into the league, like he just took this shit by storm, couldn't be stopped. And we never seen nothing like this. This is what they're trying to sell you. Or what they're trying to sell his fans. This is what they're trying to sell his fans. This is what LeBron James was when he first came into the NBA. The king, the most expectations, the most hype. But it never happened. It never happened. It never happened. So again, the NBA's they've been in trouble for a long time since he went to the finals by himself. Because what they did was they had something that could like ease the pain. Yes, nobody wanted to see Tim Duncan in the NBA finals because he was boring. It wasn't because of his game, it's because he was boring. So this could have carried it right here as far as ratings. Yes, I think he had the lowest ratings of all time. I want to say it was against, was it? No, I think it was against the Pistons. If I'm mistaken, it was against the Pistons. Yeah, it was against the Pistons. If I'm mistaken. Okay, now, and that team was kind of boring too. It wasn't really like no, standout star players on that Pistons team. It was just a team that won together. So yeah, LeBron James had a chance to carry that. Well, I'm not trying to say he had to have the best ratings of all time. No way. He didn't have a chance. But the way they're talking today and been talking the last 10 years about his arrival into the NBA, up until the NBA Finals where he dragged a whole bunch of nobodies, You would have thought he would have had one of the best ratings NBA Finals of all time in 2007. That's what you would have thought. And you would have thought they would have been saying today, or all that time, the last 10 years, that, yeah, Tim Duncan had the lowest rating finals of all time before LeBron James played with Tim Duncan. And LeBron James, he was that dude that he cared that if it wasn't for LeBron James playing with Tim Duncan in the NBA Finals in 2007, he would have had another all-time lowest rating finals of all time. But that ain't the case, guys. He had the lowest, lower than, if I ain't mistaken, than the Spurs and the Pistons. You can't have that. That means nobody wants to see you play. Nobody cared about you. You wasn't that dude. So the NBA knew that at that time it was over. They didn't know what to do with this guy. Nobody wanted to see this guy play. Nobody wanted to see the guy play. You had the lower rating finals than Duncan in Detroit. If I'm mistaken. It might have been the Nets. Whatever. That's tough. That's a hard pill to swallow right there. They try to hype this guy up to the mountains back then, and the people said, we're not buying it. This guy, he ain't that dude. They tried to put him in the finals with Kobe Bryant. He didn't show up. He's going to get his ass whooped. He's going to get his ass whooped. Remember, he was supposed to show up in 2009, 10. But he didn't want to show up. Everybody done found out now he choked those down on purpose. So he won't have to play Kobe Bryant. They don't have nothing moving forward. Remember, all these debate groups, and they ain't going to tell you that back at the time. Listen, and LeBron James, even that they didn't even tell you he lost those on purpose in 2009, 2010. So he goes, they already knew. They already knew he lost on purpose because he didn't want to play Kobe Bryant. But let's just say, yes, they played dumb. Because we even heard Skip say the next morning on First Take after he lost in 2010 to the Celtics that he said at the beginning of that season he was wearing the number 6 because, you know, Skip said that he shamed Michael Jordan's number 23 against the Celtics in 2010 playoffs. But he said, was it Skip said that or moderator? It might have been a moderator. Said that they already knew at the beginning of the year that LeBron James was wearing number 6 next year. So many people thought he was going to wear number 6 in Cleveland because they didn't announce him going to Miami yet. But they were telling you right there that LeBron James already knew he was going to Miami and wearing the number 6 because you can't wear the 23 in Miami because it's retired. Can't wear it. So he already knew he was going to melt down, throw those games, and go to Miami. So they knew it. Even those debate groups, they knew it in 2009. They knew it in 2010. That's why they kept riding with the dude. What was the sense if he melted down in 2000? Well, melted down. He didn't choke 2007. He melted down in 2007. Choked and melted down in 2009 and 10. He just want that dude no more. Especially when he's supposed to win in 2009, 2010. He's supposed to go to the finals. So why do they keep riding with this guy? Because they're with the script. They're with the script. That's their job, to have a job to feed you the script and that dumb. Play dumb. Because that's all they got. They knew Kobe wasn't going to play forever. So they went along with the script and act like it wasn't scripted. LeBron James losing on purpose in 2009, 2010. But again, they were cool with him not or choking in 2009, 2010 and not going to play Kobe because why? Because if he would have lost, guess what? Those guys won't have a job moving forward. The debate groups, the Stephen A. Smiths and the, what's his name? Skip Baylesses and all these debate groups that came after that, they won't have a job. If LeBron James would have went there and lost to Kobe Bryant. So it was better that he didn't go. He could lose to anybody. He lost to Dirk. He lost to Duncan twice. But you can't lose to Kobe, remember. So again, they already knew the script. That's why they kept following him. Remember, it's okay for him to melt down in the playoffs and choke in the playoffs, but for some reason, That's acceptable as long as he didn't lose to Kobe in the finals. So he just didn't go, guys. That's why I said some of this stuff is scripted. LeBron James' whole entire career has been scripted since he went to Miami. And these guys have been pushing the script so they can have a job. Remember, the NBA was getting so bad, they had to start these debate groups. They just couldn't bring you the NBA like it was brought back in the day. You watch the game, and then you watch highlights on ESPN. Nope. It was getting that bad. The ratings. Because these weren't the same men as yesteryear. It just wasn't. They had to take out the defense. Just a lot of stuff. They didn't want to have rivalries no more. It just, everybody want to play out of position. They don't want to play positional basketball no more. This was starting in the 2000s. I ain't trying to say 2000s were bad, but a lot of these dudes were starting to get aggy. You know what I'm saying? They were starting to get aggy like women. They didn't want to play like that no more back in the day, like they did back in the day. So whatever, we could do a whole separate video on that. But LeBron James just thought, in the NBA, just thought they would just push him in front of everybody for doing it the wrong way. And to me, that's basically a comedy show. What we'll do is we'll just piss everybody off. Funny, right? We'll piss everybody off. Listen now, we'll piss everybody off telling you reality backwards. And that's basically what they've been doing. They've just been pissing everybody off to get people to talk about the NBA, and it hasn't stopped. What other choice do they have, man? They don't have nobody to move the NBA. They don't. They're literally telling you about this guy's 22 years of greatness to piss people off. They don't exist. And when did it all start? When he went to Miami. Not one, not two, not three. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Well, guys, what is the announcement for? You just melted down 2 years in a row, choked 2 years in a row. Nobody wanted to watch you in the finals. You lost the Plumbers in the international games. What is the announcement for? What is it for? I don't get it. You was a failure. You was a choke artist. What's the announcement for? Huh? Because they're bringing you comedy. That's all it's been, guys. Comedy. His entire career is a joke. Somebody asked me, they said, oh man, how come you talk about Jim and you got a whole bunch of LeBron James videos too? Let me tell you the difference. For one, I'm not claiming to be a so-called channel that's telling historic NBA facts. This ain't the history of the NBA. This ain't on a historic level. Yes, I can go that way sometimes, but that's what he claims his channel is. A historic channel that's talking about NBA history. That's not my channel. Second of all, my channel is here to expose the NBA script, not push the NBA script. You understand? So whatever the news lines that the NBA gives you, I'm here to expose it, not push it. These other guys are out here pushing it. And it might not seem like, what do you mean pushing? Well, Zion Williams is hurt again. All they're going to do is tell you, man, Zion is this, Zion is that. They want you to, that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to, expose it. Zion is faking injuries. He don't want to be there. They don't want you to expose every time, you hear these guys making these contracts. They want you to say, oh, this guy ain't worth that money. Why do you get it? No, they ain't making this kind of money. It's a lie. It's one of the biggest lies in sports, okay? When I talk about LeBron James, I'm here to expose the script that they gave LeBron James. I'm not just here to blame LeBron James for being awful, being bad, and all this stuff, or choking. I'm here to tell you it's a script by the Players Association and the owners, guys. You don't hear nobody on here saying that. So if you see LeBron James in my videos over and over, listen to him. Do I sound like anybody else? No. And that's why my channel is the most shadow banned. All these guys sound the same. They're here to push the LeBron James script, which means LeBron James is the blame. LeBron James. They will act like LeBron James is the guy that running the NBA, calling all the shots, does what he wants to do. Is just a rogue dude running around, firing his coach, getting rid of these players, bringing his players. No, it don't work like that, folks. This is what the NBA done gave the script. They're here to piss off the fans and do it the wrong way, and turn failure into greatness. Why? To piss off the fans. That's all they have to sell this NBA, guys. They don't have any on-court greatness. If they did none of this with LeBron James, it is in his career since he went to Miami, it would be worse. The ratings have been going down since he went to Miami, but if they didn't do that, it would be worse. They won't have none of that, guys. These debate groups would never exist. Where you have a Shannon Sharp, and you would have a Skip Bayless, and you have Stephen A. Smith. They're here to lie to you, to get you on one side and get you on the other side. It ain't no two sides. It's a script. It ain't no Democrat versus Republican. It's a script. It ain't no black versus white. It's a script that they wrote. It's a script with the people up top wrote. Ain't nobody running around rogue doing what they want to do. It don't matter how many times these people had showed up in suits and ties, smiling, talking with these big words, educated. It's all entertainment, guys. In, I don't know, the past 10 years, the NBA has had social media advertise their game basically for free. You know how much money they would have to spend to advertise their game and push their game? But instead, the social media pushes it. Go watch any basketball game and you'll fall asleep. There's nothing to watch. This shit looks uniform. Everybody's playing the same. There's really no real head coaching. These guys are just stand-in head coaches because these guys are whatever players. You go to sleep. But if you listen to social media, you would think the game is at an all-time high the past 10 years. Because the soap opera off court is bigger than it is on court. There's basically nothing to watch on court, guys. You'll fall asleep. You don't see men out there with muscle, battling each other, playing hardcore defense, rivalries, dudes wanting to knock each other out, dudes saying all kinds of stuff to each other like they said back in the day, or did back in the day, whatever. You don't have none of that. You just had dudes chucking up threes and complaining to the refs that they got hit. They couldn't play back in the day. You would get bumped and hit all damn game. So again, my point is in the whole video is that, but anyway, well, going back to that point, yeah, Jim, this dude is, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say his whole channel is trash. What I'm trying to say is he ain't there to tell no historic facts like he claims he is. Like he's a historian of basketball. He's there to put LeBron, if he was there, he'd do a video on a separate guy every day. I'm talking about his headline video would say Larry Bird one day, Michael Jordan one day, Kareem one day, Wilt one day, Jerry West one day, Oscar Robertson one day. No, it don't. It say LeBron, Michael Jordan. LeBron, Michael Jordan. LeBron, Michael Jordan. Okay, now if you want to do that as talking about a soap opera and just talking in general about the NBA, that's fine. But when you're sitting here trying to act like you're this historian of basketball and you're telling, historic basketball facts, no, it don't work like that. Because Michael Jordan went the best at every criteria, or not even close. Michael Jordan, I would say he, a lot of it, yes, he was. And LeBron James wasn't the worst at every criteria. He just makes up the criteria he wants to make up. And I'm not trying to say those criteria are wrong. I'm not trying to say that. But he just makes up the criteria he wants so he can keep LeBron James in the headline of every video he has, 9 out of 10 of them, because if he knows if he does anybody else, a headline on everybody else every different day, he won't get the views. And like I said, he said Kareem is the second, Russell is the second greatest player of all time. Okay, then most of your videos should be about Russell. But he knows nobody will watch that because nobody in their right mind thinks that Bill Russell is the second greatest player of all time. It's bullshit. It's laughable. But again, he's there, tell historic NBA facts. Michael Jordan won the best at everything, or even close. There's all kind of different criteria y'all can come up with. Points and rebounds, assists, blocks and rebounds at a certain age. In a game 4, in a game 6, he just makes up criteria. Most of the criteria we done heard before. Yes, LeBron James is a failure. He ain't the best at a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of criteria. Y'all, trust me, you can put LeBron James up there that he was the best at. But like I said, he knows where the money is. LeBron. And that's fine with me. If you want to talk about LeBron James, that's fine. A lot of guys do. But don't tell me you're there to tell historic NBA facts. You're not. No, you're not there to do that. Or 9 out of 10 videos would be about LeBron James in the damn headline. He's a fake NBA historian, in my opinion. Because like I said, the way the NBA is, it's just too many categories, guys. It's just too many criteria you can come up with. And for some reason, 9 out of 10 of his videos is LeBron James, those type of criteria, or a criteria that fits LeBron James in there, and Michael Jordan. So let me get off of here. Like I said, man, the NBA, and I'm not trying to say scripted as far as outcome. I'm saying LeBron James, or he would have won a whole bunch of championships, or he would have had a better record. I'm just saying his scripted career, this is what the NBA gave him. It's no fun when you know the truth that the NBA gave him this script. And, like I said, they want you to think this is the only guy in NBA history that was able to run around an NBA rogue and do whatever he wanted to do after he was a meltdown artist and choke artist. No, that's all they had, guys. This is all they have now is basically bring you comedy. It's a lie. The NBA is basically, it's been a comedy to piss people off because they didn't have nothing else after Kobe, after Duncan, after Dirk. They didn't have those guys to be able to be on that same level.